Managing money can feel overwhelming. Everywhere you look, someone is telling you to cut out your morning coffee or to follow a complex strategy that requires 3 different apps and a spreadsheet. It makes people want to log out, close the tab, and just hope for the best. Let's change that today. Let's simplify things together right now. Think of this as a conversation between friends over coffee. No judgment, no complex jargon, just a clear, straightforward guide to building your very first budget from scratch. A budget isn't a restriction. A budget is a blueprint. It tells your money where to go instead of leaving you wondering where it went. When you control your cash flow, you create options. You give your future self a gift. Let's build that foundation together, step by step. Step 1. Know your starting line. To build anything that lasts, you need to know what you are working with. That means we start with your net income. Imagine you get paid $2,000 this Friday. That is your take-home pay. It is the actual amount that hits your bank account after taxes and deductions. This is your true starting line. Many people make the mistake of budgeting based on their gross salary, the bigger number on the hiring contract. Budgeting with that number is like building a house on a shaky foundation. Always look at the money that actually lands in your hand. Take a moment this week to look at your pay stubs. If your income varies because you work freelance or have shifting hours, look at your lowest earning month from the past half year. Use that lower number as your base. If you make more, great. That is extra momentum. But planning for the baseline keeps you safe. Knowing your starting line gives you clarity. Clarity brings peace of mind. If you want to keep learning how to handle your money with the same clarity and simplicity, take a second to subscribe to the channel. Step 2. Uncover the non-negotiables. Now let's look at your fixed expenses. These are your non-negotiables. They are the costs that stay exactly the same every single month. Think about your rent or mortgage. Think about your car payment, your insurance, and your utility bills. These are the foundations of your daily life. They keep a roof over your head and the lights turning on when you flip the switch. Write these down first. They claim their portion of your income before anything else happens. If you aren't sure what your exact numbers are, do not guess. Open your bank app. Look at the last 3 months of statements. The truth is always in history. Think about how you feel when you look at those past statements. Sometimes there is a temptation to judge yourself for what you spent last month. You might see a receipt from a restaurant or an impulse purchase online and feel a flash of regret. Let go of that feeling. The past is just data. It is a map showing you where you have been, not a definition of where you're going. When you see that you spent a bit too much on takeout, you do not need to scold yourself. You simply look at the number and say, "Now I know." That shift in mindset changes everything. You are no longer reacting to your past choices. You are actively designing your next move. Seeing these numbers written down can sometimes feel heavy. It might feel like a large portion of your paycheck is spoken for before you even touch it. That is a completely normal feeling. Acknowledge it and then focus on what you can control. Every budget requires adjustments. This is simply information. Information is the tool we use to create change. Before we move on to the things that change from month to month, take a moment to think about your own fixed expenses. When you look at your non-negotiables, what is the one bill or fixed cost that surprised you the most when you first saw it written down? Let me know in the comments below. It helps to see what we're all balancing. Step 3. Track the moving targets. Next, we look at your variable expenses. These are the moving targets: groceries, gas, dining out, and shopping. You need them, or you enjoy them, but the amount changes every month. You spent $80 on groceries last week, but maybe you will spend $120 next week because you ran out of olive oil and coffee. Because these numbers move, they are usually where budgets fall apart. To simplify this, do not try to be perfect. Pick a reasonable target for the month based on what you usually spend. If you usually spend $400 a month on groceries, make that your target. Here is a simple truth. Tracking your spending changes your behavior. When you know you have $50 left for dining out this week, you naturally look at the menu differently. You don't need to deprive yourself. You simply choose with intention. Consistency beats perfection every single time. If you go over budget by $20, do not throw the whole plan away. Just adjust your next move. Step 4. Protect against the unexpected. Life does not happen in a straight line. Tires go flat, laptops stop working, annual subscriptions renew when you least expect them. If you only budget for your regular monthly bills, an unexpected cost can ruin your progress. That is why we need a buffer. Imagine setting aside just $50 from every paycheck into a separate account. It sounds small, but over a few months, that small habit builds a wall between you and stress. When the car needs a minor repair, you do not need to use a credit card. You do not need to panic. You simply pay the bill from your buffer account and move on with your day. Saving is safe. Having a buffer gives you breathing room. Rhythm of saving rather than the amount. The momentum you build by saving consistently is worth more than a one-time windfall. You are training yourself to prioritize your stability. Step 5. Choose a framework that fits. Now that we have our numbers, we need a structure to hold them. A popular and simple framework is the 50-30-20 rule. Let's break down how that works. 50% of your take-home pay goes toward your needs. These are the non-negotiables we talked about earlier. Rent, bills, and basic groceries. 30% goes toward your wants. This is the fun part. It is the dinners with friends, the hobbies, and the streaming services. Money is meant to be lived, not just saved. This category ensures you enjoy the journey. The remaining 20% goes toward your financial goals. This is your savings, paying down debt, or investing for the future. This 20% is how you grow. If your current numbers do not fit this exact mold, do not worry. This is a guide, not a law. If your needs take up 60% right now, that is okay. Adjust the other categories to match your reality. The goal is simply to have a framework so you can make deliberate choices. Structure creates freedom. It does not take it away. Building a buffer is a major milestone. If you had a small, unexpected expense pop up tomorrow, like a flat tire or a broken appliance, how would having that cash buffer ready change your stress levels? Drop a comment and share what that peace of mind would mean for you. Step 6. Review, rebalance, and refine. A budget is not a static document. It is a living, breathing tool. It needs to change as your life changes. Set an appointment with yourself once a week. It only needs to take 10 minutes. On a Sunday morning, grab a warm drink, sit down, and check your bank accounts. Look at what you spent versus what you plan to spend. This weekly check-in prevents surprises. It keeps you close to your goals. If you see that you spent too much in one area early in the month, you still have 2 or 3 weeks to balance it out. You can choose to spend a little less on entertainment next week to make up for the extra money you spent on groceries. This is where the real magic happens. It is not about being restricted. It is about steering the ship. You are the manager of your money. You have the power to redirect it whenever you need to. Consistency builds confidence. The more you look at your numbers, the less intimidating they become. Your future self. Building your first budget from scratch takes a little time and a little patience. You might not get it perfect the first month, and that is completely fine. The important thing is that you started. You took action. Every time you choose to track a purchase, every time you choose to save a small buffer, you are investing in your peace of mind. You are creating financial freedom. You are showing respect for the hard work you put in to earn your income. Take a breath. Simplify your next move. Focus on today's step and let the consistency build over time. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you found this helpful, that's what this channel is here for. Keep going. Consistency pays off. Also, if you enjoyed this straightforward approach to money management, consider subscribing for more practical financial guides to help your future self.